What's up, y'all? It's Deep Talk with T, episode 8. So, today's video is on a phrase. It's actually a phrase I have tattooed on my chest. It is a French phrase. The phrase is c'est la vie. C'est la vie means such is life. And if you'll notice, a lot of these little phrases or things that I continuously refer to are pretty timeless stuff. A lot of these things are not, none of these things actually are like new, like memento mori, or the idea of enlightenment, or the idea of people having their own past, or the idea that life happens, shit happens, such is life. It's just the reality of living is that things are going to occur, things happen. You affect what happens based on what you do. And to not dive into the multitude of ways that you can approach something, to narrow it down to two. You can approach something proactively or reactively, and in a real layman's terms type of way. When life happens, you can approach it from a beast mode type of standpoint or a depressive standpoint, a nihilistic standpoint. The common process that most people go through is stimuli happens, and if it's not something that's desirable, there's a period of resistance, something that you don't want to happen. You resist the fact that it's happened a lot of times. And this is most common in things like where we're dealing with death, or when we're trying to get someone to acknowledge an issue in their life that has spiraled out of control. We don't want to acknowledge something that is not positive like that. And so acceptance is the first step. And that's really the first step with anything, whether or not you enjoy it or not. It's easy to accept something that you wanted to have happen, but life happens, period, whether or not it fits your preferences or not. So, but recognizing the value of life happening, that's making that your default. If you have a default of that's life, it doesn't mean that you have to, again, approach it from this nihilistic standpoint of thinking that, oh, well, shit's just gonna happen, so fuck it. You still are attacking what you want. You still are going at it with the same tenacity and relentlessness, if not more, as before. There's just an acceptance of whatever obstacle is in the way. And shout out Ryan Holiday and Marcus Aurelius, who gave him the quote originally. Again, Roman emperor, philosopher. These things are not new. For the obstacle is the way. Whatever is in your way is part of the way. It is going to build you into what it is that you are attaining or growing yourself into being. So, again, embracing life. There's a certain energy to embracing what happens versus resisting what happens that builds a momentum of action, of positive, proactive action that puts you in a space of flow. And when obstacles come about, it puts you in a space of being able to tackle those things and not being daunted by them, not being knocked out of the game by them. Life is going to throw its punches. You have to be able to roll with the punches and throw your own, duck and dodge and roll. And if you get hit, get back up if it knocks you down. And if it don't knock you down, getting angry is never going to help. You have to re-strategize, figure it out, and fight better. So, that's the gist of this whole phrase. C'est la vie, such is life. Embrace what happens to you, man, because it's going to, and it's not happening to you. It is happening for you. It is for your highest growth. It is for your benefit. And if you can't realize that, if you're so far gone from your path that you can't see how it's helping you, you got that's part of your self-work to do. You have to learn to listen to yourself. Again, I'll preach that part over and over too, about listening to yourself and your instincts and your intuition and your inspiration and your experience, because they will guide you. So we'll leave that one at that. C'est la vie. Much love, y'all.